Yeah, that might be too many. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, What the Bag. My necklace went in my mouth. I'm going to basically go through every whip that I have and determine what I'm going to do with it, because I had a literal closet full of hibernating whips. Some of them I do want to finish, some of them I really don't have passion for anymore. And I saw Jordan Amanda's video about all the whips that she has from the last year. And these aren't all things I started last year, but it's what I'm going into this year with. So I'm gonna try to get this pile down because I just released my first pattern of the year, Sparkle Dog Soiree, which is a cowl. If you want to learn more about that, you can click the card. But now that that big like energy passion project is over, I want to go through all this stuff and get some of these put into my shop or gifted to friends and just clear out that closet, because honestly it shouldn't be full of yarn. It should be full of linens and even if it's not, it's less stuff that I have to worry about. So let's just get into this. I decided to have a frog or finish approach. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do that later right now. I'm gonna just sort it into what I want to do like finish and then what I'm not gonna finish, and we'll go from there, because I don't want to get caught up in I want to do this one first. I don't really want to finish that one right now, but I'll do it later, because I feel like that's procrastinating and that's not getting to the root of the not problem, but like the situation that I have here. I'm not ashamed to have this many whips, and honestly a lot of these are concepts that I use in my later patterns, and some of them are just things that like I decided to do them as a gift and then I got busy because I was a full-time artist and then I was a full-time office worker, and this might be a normal amount of stuff to get done in a year, but I've been working at an office for 2 years and I didn't have as much time. So let's just start going through these. First of all, I have this, which is a sleeve for a V-stitch sweater, and this yarn was actually my favorite. It was from AC Moore before they like stopped happening. So you can see it's like a small, or I guess extra small sweater with rainbow colors. I do really want a sweater like this, but my main hang up with this one is that I didn't have the yarn from AC Moore in green, so I used Karen Simply Soft, and it's just a totally different thickness to the other ones, and I don't like how it plays together. I was able to finish 2 sleeves. Look, I actually like folded and sewed the other one, but you can see that like the thickness really affects that, and I wouldn't wear this. So I also wouldn't want to sell it because it's strangely like that. Like if I make a scrappy project and I sell it as a scrappy project, that's one thing, but this is all made with the same brand of yarn except that one, so I'm gonna put it in the frog pile. Next up, this is recent, and I made this just because I needed something simple to do while like relaxing, because my biggest project was very, very complicated in terms of I was designing it, I was testing the pattern, and I was making sure all the math and stuff added up. So when I needed a break, I was working on this. I think I actually did this all in one day. It's a pretty decent size and it's all made with scraps, so I'm thinking maybe I'll keep making scrappy squares like this and do like a charity blanket. So I'm gonna put this into the keep pile for now. And yeah, next up is this tube. Naively I thought it would be a scarf, but I think it's way too short to be a scarf. I basically threw this through my Centro. This was one of those packs of like bonbon yarns, and honestly I don't want to give it to anyone like this, and I don't want to keep it like this, so I'm going to frog it into the same cake it was when I caked it through the Centro. Next I have this thing, and I was trying to do a loom knit project, but I don't have my looms anymore because I really didn't enjoy it. This was going to be a Fursona plush of one of my friends, who I have since made a really adorable Fursona plush, which looks like this. And this is like acrylic roving, and I actually found out that I can spin acrylic roving as if it's wool. So I think I'm going to frog this and use it for spinning material when blending and stuff. I feel like I'm doing all the easy ones first, so let's do a harder one. This here was originally a tapestry project in all different greens and browns, and it's meant to look like moss. You can see I have my bobbins on there, and it was meant to be a sweater, and I was working it like not in the round, but like I was working it so that this side wouldn't need a seam, and I got pretty far. I mean, there's like 4 or 5 more inches before it would get to armpit length, and honestly I'm just not into this anymore. I don't want to frog it because it takes like forever, but I think that if I just did another bit of ribbing on the other side and connected it, oh excuse me, I'm like tangling myself in here, I think it could be a good like infinity scarf cowl thing. So I'm going to finish this one, but it's going to be a different project than originally intended. Next up, just to not block your view anymore, I have this, which is a Fursona plushie of my own character, which I haven't done in a while. It's just a really simple shape, like laying down plushie, and then I would put the head on top, and it would be like a headboard decoration, I guess, to lay on the little shelf on top of my bed. He's got a lot of color changes. He's got his cute little heart shape here, and I want to finish this one. I kind of want to make this one a priority to finish. I'm not gonna like rank the whips right now, but this has been sitting for a while. I really love Pop Rock. He kind of represents my connection to the furry community in a way, because when I got him, I started really interacting with more people. I met a lot more friends and just like leaving my inner circle. So yeah, this one means something to me, and I do want to finish it up. And I do make smaller Fursona plushies, which I'll show you next actually. But I wanted to make Pop Rock a bigger one because he has so many colors and stuff that I feel like it would be hard to express on a smaller plushie, and just I want to do him justice. So I'm going to finish this one. And as I was saying before, I usually make smaller Fursona plushies. Like, for example, this is Feathers. Feathers is one of my friends from the furry community, and it has been so long since I made this originally that their, I don't know that their main Fursona is changed because I kind of took a social media break, but I know that their character's design has changed. So it's kind of like out of date fan art, like OG Feathers inspiration. And this one is like most of the way done. Like you can see I have the tail done. I just need to like sew it together and then add the little bows. I want to finish this as a set because Feathers has a wife who is just a body and legs at this point. I'm so sorry. This is Cinder. Cinder is very cute and I love their design, but again, it's their old design. I do have the yarn for this in a separate bag, separate from the like whip itself for right now, just for the video. But I want to finish theirs so I can send it to them because they have just been such an inspiration for me in the furry community, and they also did me a huge favor because if you don't know, I collect the Care Bears plushies. I have a whole army of them up in my craft studio, and there was a Canada exclusive one, and Feathers and Cinder lived in Canada, and they offered to like ship it to me, and I paid them back. So that was very nice of them, and I think it would be nice to give them a surprise little gift like that. Unless they're watching that right now, then it's not a surprise, but yeah. I also have this one for, oh, I feel like such a bad friend right now. I don't remember the character's name off the top of my head. It's not Dustin, it's, this is their name. But one of my friends has a dragon character, and he's very cute. He's also very, well, was very popular on TikTok. We're not even gonna talk about TikTok. I don't know how TikTok's going anymore. But I made the body of their character, the whole little tail, the little wings, and I just didn't do their head. So, I'm sorry. I need to put their head together, and then these 3 Fursona plushies will be good to go. These are going to get finished, and honestly, probably sooner rather than later, because I don't want headless little guys around my house. That's so sad. Okay, next up, let's do this easy one. What is this? This was originally a Red Heart kit thing. It didn't come with like everything you need, but it was supposed to be like you buy one ball and you get a whole project out of it. So it was a multicolored cake and you had to separate the colors, and this one was supposed to be a hamburger. I think originally I was gonna do the hamburger, but like, I don't know, I started doing something else. That's not a hamburger. I'm gonna frog it. I hated working with this yarn. It's really slippery and it's thin. I would use it for something else if I really cared about it, but to make a hamburger, I don't even eat hamburgers. No, this one's getting frogged. Okay, next up is this little Thanksgiving turkey looking thing. This is a fox. I know it doesn't look like a fox because it's not fox colors. Basically, I had a crochet commission order for a giant turtle, and I was making it with this brunette blanket yarn. It was great. I used a lot of my yarn that I've had sitting for a while, and my coworker who ordered it was really happy with it, so that's good. But basically, I was doing that while I was helping my friend recover from top surgery in Florida, and this is the yarn I had with me, and I'm trying not to buy new yarn. And I just started making a little fox with it. I don't remember the pattern, I'm sorry. For that reason, I might finish it with a free-handed approach. I don't know what pattern I was using. It's so sad, this little turkey guy. But I'll probably finish it and then either try to sell it or donate it to like a shelter near me. I do really want to use up my blanket yarn, especially because I have a lot of it for someone who doesn't usually use it. Yeah, so we'll finish this one. We'll finish the little turkey. Okay, this one's difficult. Look at this. Seriously, it's gorgeous. I still have the pattern for this saved. This was a beach cover-up dress thingy. That I was making this in France when I went to France to visit my sibling who was doing a pastry internship, which is not the coolest thing ever. Also, everyone put applause emojis in the comments for my sibling because they got a job at a bakery recently. Yay! And yeah, I brought this. Why do I own this? When I got married, I thought I'm gonna make a handmade doily for the centerpiece of each guest table for the reception. I made 1.5, and we borrowed some doilies from another woman who is friends with my mom. Thank you so much. Her mother loved making doilies, and when she passed, she had a ton of doilies, so we ended up borrowing some of them from her. I didn't use all this, so this was left over, and when we went to France, I was like, I need something that will fit in my carry-on that's not gonna be too quick to work up, and damn if this wasn't slow to work up. I mean, I don't even remember. I think I was using like a 2.5 or 3 millimeter hook. It's very lacy, it's very beautiful. It's not my typical crochet style, but it did keep me occupied. This is about a 1.5 weeks work on this panel here. Now, I don't want the dress anymore. So, will I frog this or will I turn it into something else? Since I'm trying to determine stuff, I think what I might do is, I'm gonna say I'm gonna finish it. It's not gonna be a dress. I think what I'll do is I'll keep working rows to make it a bit taller, and then I will make a separate panel of the flowers and put them going the other way on the other side, and then I can have like a square centerpiece doily for tea parties. Because I want to have tea parties. I haven't had a tea party forever. I want to have like my aunts over for tea parties and my friends over for tea parties. Anyways, this is going to get finished. I'm not frogging all that work, especially not when it was done with in France. Are you kidding me? Next, this one. This was one of my election day projects that I kept in my car so that when I finished a whip, I had something to work on. This is the Stitch Sampler sweater by this designer. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly what it was, and I don't want to say the wrong thing. It's gorgeous. I love it. This is such a fun project. I'm making a size large for my shop. I will not be frogging this. I will be finishing this. And yeah, I just love it so much. This is a stash buster project for all my like Lion brand, I believe it's Pound of Love, that I've had for years and years and years. I made the whole back, and now I'm working on the front. Well, I'm working on, meaning like the last time I worked on it. But yes, this one's getting finished. This one will be available in my shop. That is the stash buster. I'm really happy with that one. I'm actually looking forward to getting to work on that one again soon. So finish. This one was another like, oh, I'm in Florida and I don't have more yarn. I am going to use what I brought. I'm alternating every other row with one from the pink-ish skein and one from the purple-ish skein. And honestly, I'm just not liking how it's turning out. I like the concept and I would probably do it again, but the yarn is like slightly thinner than a DK and I feel like it was taking forever and I'm not excited to keep doing it, so I'm gonna frog this one. Also, just something I've noticed for myself, if I have to take it off the needles for hibernation, I'm probably not gonna wanna finish it. As you can see, I put it onto smaller needles to hibernate. Okay, this one, also a Florida project. I love this one. I realize that I make so many sweaters, I don't make any cardigans. This is a cardigan for myself. This is the back panel. It's called Saddle Stitch Cardigan on Ravelry, and I'm using the puzzle yarn, which I really love. It's pretty thick, it works up really quick, it's very soft, and the color gradient is so nice. I'm gonna dye my hair green again soon. The blue was never on purpose. I used Splat because that was what I had access to, and all the yellow came out. Don't use Splat. And I have Manic Panic now. I'm gonna put like, what's it called? I'm gonna put baking soda and conditioner on my hair to get the blue out, and then I'm gonna put green on, so I'll be green again. But yeah, I'm trying to go for like an effortless forest fairy vibe. So this is part of my foray into that. The whole back is done. I'm working on one of the front panels, which I've just started to decrease when I last was working on this. So like a third of a panel on the front, another front panel, and then sleeves, and then I'll be done. I'm considering maybe leaving this one at work, but I will be finishing it. So this is a finish. This one is old. This one is very old, and I can tell because I'm using the AC Moore yarn again. This was like, I think it was called like Nicole Stitch Studio Basic or something like that. Oh, I love this yarn so much. And then this is a Red Heart yarn, which I don't even know if they still make this. They make a stripe version of this, but this is straight up just a variegated version. And this is like kind of sort of similar to Mosaic Crochet. This pattern is on Ravelry, called Blacklight Blanket. And I think that's because that yarn was called Blacklight. But basically what I did was I would do a row of single crochet in the multicolor yarn, and then with the black yarn I would do a row of double crochet. If the stitch under it was a black stitch, I would do it into both loops, and if it was a colorful stitch, I would do it into the back loop so that that line like pops out. And I love how this one looks. It's so cool. Let me see how big this one is. It's like a pretty decent size, and honestly, as a throw blanket, some people would consider it done. Personally, I wouldn't. And you can see that a lot of these ends, oh, it looks like some of the ends I wove in, a lot of these ends are still sticking out, and I have a lot left. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to finish this one and maybe do a double border on it. But I love it. It's very cool. I'm going to finish it. Put it in the finish pile. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, next. Also France related. This is my Grafgan style sweater of the Eiffel Tower. My dad took an amazing picture of the Eiffel Tower, and I apologize that I thought that I had taken it, but I checked our chat history and he's the one that took it. Okay, he took the best picture on our trip, and I wanted to make a sweater. So, and I know it's like curling and stuff, but I wanted it to be more of a fitted sweater. However, I don't know that I want this as a sweater anymore, because like I said, I have a lot of sweaters. I like making sweaters a lot, but I want more cardigans. So I'm considering instead just unraveling the ribbing on the bottom and casting that off, and finishing the Grafghan and putting it up as a wall art piece. So I think that's how I'm going to finish it. Fun fact about this one, the gray yarns in it are yarns that I actually bought in Paris. I was the master of the metro. I love the metro. Oh my god, the France metro is like my favorite transportation system ever. And this light grayish brown here is Suffolk sheep, and I spun that myself, and that was my first really super like even spin, and looking at it now it's not that even, but I was very proud of this when I made it. I'm going to be finishing this as a wall piece. Okay, this one actually was finished over a year ago, and I decided to make it a whip. Now why would I do that? Basically, when I graduated college, my dad treated me to circa $100 of yarn that was very pretty, just because I liked it, and well, I graduated, right? So that was his gift to me, and that was this like confetti yarn. It's very pretty. I don't remember the dyer's name or anything, but it's amazing. And because they only had 4 left in the store, I decided to stripe it with some other wool. I believe this is my first wool garment that I made, so it's pretty important. But when I made it, hopefully it doesn't fall apart here, I stopped here and had ribbing, and I am not a crop top person. I don't prefer them. I like my waist to be covered. Like, I'm not ashamed of my waist. Like, honestly, got a pretty good one, but I don't love to accentuate it all the time, right? And for a comfy sweater, I'm probably not gonna want that. So basically what I did was, from that point, I cut the yarn and was picking up the stitches on these cables to save them. And then I knit approximately 6 inches of new fabric with the yarn, which luckily I did have some more left. And I had saved the ribbing from before on a cable, and now I am just taking a really long strand of yarn and I'm grafting them together. So the live stitches from the bottom needle and the live stitches from the top needle, I am literally sewing the knitting stitches together, but it looks pretty good. Like, you actually cannot tell at all where I grafted, which is the goal. This one requires a bit of focus. It is not difficult, but it is like, you gotta be in the mood for it. It's not a, I'm crocheting right now or I'm knitting right now whip. It's a sewing whip. And honestly, I have a bit of sewing whips right now. I do want to finish this soon. I do want it to be wearable. I love it. I love how it came out. I was actually upset when I saw in my closet and I realized I haven't been wearing that. Why? And then I tried it on and it was like up to here, and I was like, excuse you. So yeah, that one's getting finished. I think I might actually put that in my D&D bag so that I can finish it at D&D. And sometimes I get cold at my friend's house, so I'll have something warm to wear when I'm there once I finish it. This one's easy. I, for a long time, did not think it was easy, but now I do. This is a dragon. This is America. I have the yarn right here. This is a dragon. I have a foot, but what I might do instead is make up my own stuff, because this is a very lovely pattern by this designer. This is the first pattern I bought, I believe, and at the time, $8 or $10, however much it costs, was a lot to me because I was like a high school student. I want this guy to have a beautiful life as a full dragon. He's going to get finished. I don't know when he's going to get finished. I'm putting him in the finish pile. I might not do like humongous wings or something, but he will get finished. This one, blanket knitted burnout blanket yarn, navy colors. Do you know why? It is because my partner was in the Navy. He's almost out. I started this when he was in boot camp 8 years ago. How old am I? Jeez. There's enough yarn in here to finish this. I think I'm gonna finish it as a charity knit, or I'll let it be a guest room blanket. Because honestly, the blankets with this stuff, they're very comfy. It's knitted, so it takes a while. It's still on the needles, so that's good. That's like one step removed from me having to finish it. It will get done. Don't know when, it will get done. Beck, why do you have another blue blanket? You know, I discovered that I don't hate homespun Lion brand yarn. It's actually very comfy when it is worked up and you can't see me. But, you know, it's cozy, it's nice, and I liked the ripple pattern with blue, and I decided to add some purplish in there, some greenish, some brownish, and this is honestly grown quite a bit. This was my couch project for a while. I'm gonna finish this one. I think I might donate it, but I'm gonna finish it. I have plenty of homespun yarn left over, and I enjoyed switching the colors up randomly, so that one's gonna get finished. Speaking of blankets, this is the Power pattern from LG Fiberworks, also known as Lindsay George, and it is a mosaic pattern, and it's very beautiful. I like the colors I chose. It's a decent size. I don't feel like finishing this one, but I'm not gonna frog it. I don't feel like making a full-size blanket with it. So what I think I'm gonna do is finish off this row, because I believe I'm mid-row on it, or depending how much of the row I have. It looks like I actually just started that row, so I'm like most of the way done one side. So I might frog this section, do a border, and then donate it, because it's very beautiful. I love it. I just don't feel like doing this project when I could be doing other projects. So let's put this one in the finish pile. Next, this is cotton yarn. It is a top thing. Also a very thin yarn that I brought to France to work on stuff that wouldn't take up much space. I'm not loving it. I might frog it, and honestly I might just give the yarn to someone else who wants to use it, because these colors don't speak to me, and I have another cake of this that is like neon fun colors that I would be so excited to use to make a shawl or something, but I don't love this, so I think I'm gonna frog it. This is a sweater for Mabel from Gravity Falls. I used such tiny needles on this front panel, but I did the whole front panel because it had color work and I wanted to try color work. This was years and years ago. Ugh. I know how to shape sweaters much better now, but because the whole front part with the color work is done, I'm inclined to finish it. I might finish it to sell, I might gift it to someone. I actually cast it on the second, like the back panel, yesterday night while watching TV, just so that it would have that layer of executive function dealt with. And I'm gonna do it with a bigger gauge, because this is Karen 1 pound and this is like a weight 4, but it's a pretty thick weight 4, and honestly it's kind of hard to knit on 4mm needles of all things. So I sized up for a 4.5 for the ribbing and then a 6 for the rest of it. And I'm not, yeah, you know, it's fine. It doesn't have to match perfectly. I'm not a perfectionist when it comes to that. This one's gonna get finished. This is a shawl that I made with a Bernat pop cake, I think is what they're called. I thrifted the yarn. I wanted a rainbow shaped shawl. I thought it would get me farther than it did, and it did not. So I think I'm gonna frog this. I don't know what I'm gonna make with it. Maybe a hat or something, but this is not it. I don't like how that turned out, so I'm gonna frog it. This guy is one of my Prism dragons. This was a pattern test, and this one was kind of like a dragon fruit dragon. He just needs wire in his wings and for them to get attached, because both wings are done, obviously, because I had to test the whole pattern. But yeah, he's getting finished, and honestly, I could probably do that one tonight. I think I'm gonna do this one tonight, just so he's over and done with and I can get him in the shop. Next is this thing, which I distinctly remember a few years ago telling my housemates, tell me I shouldn't start a project with squares. I don't need a project with squares. And then I did it anyway. So this is like kind of a vest right now, and the intention was for it to become a sweater, I think. It's made with double crochet, so it wouldn't be that hellish to finish. The rest of the yarn is here, and it looks like I was running out, so I put some other yarn just in case, or I guess I was planning on that for the ribbing. It's kind of already attached as a vest, so I think I might have to finish it. I'm not like thrilled about it, but I see that a bunch of the squares are already done, so maybe I won't have to make that many more, and then I can just sew them together and I can put this in my shop. So that will get finished. Next is this thing, which is one of those trendy things from last year where you make a big rectangle and put a hole in the middle, and honestly, they are still cute. At least I like the mesh ones, but I ran out of yarn from the same lot and I was trying to stretch it, and you can tell because it like hits right at my wrist and then stops. And honestly, I would make one of these again, but I don't want it to be this one because again, the dye lots don't match. I don't know, I don't remember where it was, but like I want to frog this one because I know for a fact that I have 2 balls of black yarn in cotton that will match, and I can just make it again. So this one's getting frogged. I didn't realize how many stitch markers were hibernating with my projects. This one is another LG Fiberworks pattern. This one's called Fluidity. My favorite couch blanket ever that you can see in all the videos on my couch was designed by LG Fiberworks, and it's the same pattern. I actually was doing this one as a crochet along with my mom, so she would come over and we would both work on the pattern, and if she got stuck I would help her because I had already done the pattern. I thought maybe I could do this as a sweater. I thought I was a little less along in it, but what I might do is keep working until it's a bit bigger and then fold the ends in and make it like one of those cocoon things, you know? So like this square would be bigger and then these would become arms. So I think I'm gonna do that. I have plenty of yarn left in here. This yarn in particular, I actually started a shawl with it. That one is upstairs in my trade pile because while it is a whip, it's a trade, so it's not in here, but this color, if I had just a little more of it, I could finish that quicker. So we're gonna finish it, and then this I'm actually probably gonna store with that shawl anyway, so that it's with it and I don't have to worry about it. Finish. Next up is my Amma Cal by Tina. Tina is such a good teacher. I love her videos so much. Her Queen Cal videos helped me get to sleep for a long time when I was having really bad like insomnia and stuff. I love this pattern. This was so fun to work on. I worked on it in a kind of difficult point in my life, and it really helped me get through that. There's like 5 designs, I think, so like the designs are slightly different. And of course, I had to do each design in a different color, so I have like purple ones, I have yellow ones, which are actually the same design as the purple one, and then I have every color was its own design, and I'm really proud of this, and I want to finish it. The thing with this is I want to know what I'm doing for joining, and I'm actually like experimenting with blanket joins right now because I just did a join with slip stitch, which took a while, but I loved the result. And now I'm doing joining with whip stitch, like sewing, and that one is, again, it's still going to take a while, but I also like how that looks. So I'm like, what do I want to do for this one? Because these are so pretty and I love them and I love the colors, and I would want to use this as like a guest room bedspread or something. I'm gonna finish it. Honestly, I needed an excuse to open this box or these 2 boxes and have them out so that that step was done, and then I can finish it. Because this is actually one of my main focus goals for this year, is get this one, if nothing else, usable as a blanket. And finally, the Chungus. This is the one that I'm currently focusing on. This is my temperature blanket. I'll make a whole separate video about that too. But basically, this is a 2023 temperature blanket, and I'm trying to get it done by the end of January so I can make a video about it. This is not a blanket that was started in 2023. I actually started it on January 1st of this year, and it is the year I got married. Cute. So yes, each square is a month, and I'm currently working on joining them together. Like I said, I'm doing the whip stitch join, and I actually did the border first to help hold them together, and there's stitch markers in the corners. And yeah, this is my current focus whip for when I'm at home. I think I'm going to now put all those whips into their own little totes and put them all onto an online like Trello board so I know what's going on, and sort them into what size they are, what my priority for them getting done is, and just start getting them knocked out, because I want less whips, I want more items for my shop, I want to donate things to help people, and yeah, that's what I can do. So in the comments, please tell me one of your whips that you can finish, or frog, and tell me the little story that goes along with it, because as you could tell, a lot of these have more than just it was pretty, so I wanted to make it attached to them. So yes, thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Please like and subscribe, because otherwise YouTube does not work, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!